So this is the BS6 Suzuki Gixxer SF 250. So what new does it have on offer? Well, honestly, not much. The bike just gets a BS6 compliant engine now as the only update, which means this bike puts out lesser pollution and lesser emissions when compared to the BS4 model. Everything else remains more or less the same because the bike itself is relatively new. It just got launched recently and the design still looks quite fresh and new. In fact, we don't see too many of them out on the roads yet. But I have to tell you, this is a seriously underrated motorcycle in its segment. While the competition is really getting intense in the quarter-liter segment and the price range this bike finds itself in, it is indeed something unique in its own special way. It doesn't get an overload of electronics, it doesn't try to offer something extraordinary, but what it does offer is something very simple, which is pure riding pleasure. Powering the bike is a 4-stroke single-cylinder 249cc fuel-injected, oil-cooled BS6 compliant engine that puts out 26.5 PS of max power at 9,300 rpm and 22.2 Newton meters of max torque at 7,300 rpm. We get a 6-speed gearbox. Now, though the figures on the spec sheet might sound modest, the way the power is delivered and the way the bike accelerates is what puts a smile on your face. Design-wise, it is very compact, sharp, muscular and modern looking bike with LED headlamps up front, a neatly laid out fairing, well sculpted fuel tank, the twin port exhaust muffler with the chrome cover and the perfectly integrated tail lamp. The design looks killer, there's no doubt about that. Even the seats are well laid out, but the room for the pillion is not all that abundant. I love the clip-ons on this bike, they perfectly sit into place. The switchgear is neatly laid out and the speedo console is well lit despite being a negative display. I can say this is the only negative display that offers best visibility and readability even under broad daylight here in our Indian market. The overall fit and finish and build quality is top-notch. Talking about the brakes, we get disc brakes at both ends with a large 300mm disc up front and we get dual channel ABS as standard. Then we have the chunky 41mm front telescopic forks that offer a superb front end feel and we get a rear monoshock. Seat height is 800mm, which is ideal to suit riders of all sizes. The bike offers good ground clearance at 165mm and the tank capacity is decent enough at 12 liters. Also, we have Suzuki's patented SEP or Suzuki Eco Performance technology, which uses 6 sensors, namely the O2 sensor, the intake air pressure sensor, the intake air temperature sensor, the throttle position sensor, the engine temperature sensor, and the crankshaft sensor, which all work together to optimize combustion efficiency, resulting in consistent and improved throttle response with higher fuel efficiency. So now that I've given you guys a quick overview of the bike, let's go ahead and check out my ride reaction. So let's go ahead with my signature style acceleration test. Oh, that was awesome. 151 was it? Wow, despite the BS6 update, the bike hasn't changed. I was seriously impressed when I rode the newly launched Gixxer SF 250. The expectations were running sky high and Suzuki delivered on all fronts. Lightweight, sporty, typical Suzuki kind of sporty character and unforgiving acceleration, very smooth yet controlled aggression kind of an acceleration it had on offer. And now with the BS6 update, it hasn't changed. It's more or less the same. It is refined, just as much as refined as it was before. It's always really refined right from the word go, and that doesn't change. And the explosive character, the intense acceleration hasn't changed either. But I would say there's just a slight bit of difference in terms of the way the acceleration is delivered when compared to the BS4 model. Let's just turn around here. So the BS4 was, it meant business right from the word go. It wasn't like not even 1% of compromise there in terms of offering explosive power delivery. Here you can see maybe a 5% kind of compromise in terms of the way the power is delivered. It is not instant acceleration. I mean, the acceleration is there, the engaging riding experience is there, the intensity is there, but it is not as intense as the BS4 model. I noticed that with the Gixxer 250 Street Fighter as well, that I reviewed yesterday. That road test is coming up. That will follow the review of this motorcycle. Now, one thing that impresses me is the top end performance is almost remains the same, which is a good thing, and it will improve over time. After the second service, it will be much better. The engine feels much more at ease. The cooling system, because I rode it all the way through the city to this kind of a roadway where we usually test the motorcycles. So through the traffic, through the city traffic, it was pretty cool. It wasn't heating up even in bumper to bumper traffic, so that's a good thing. Riding ergonomics, this is what all of us craved for and asked for from the first gen Gixxer SF. And now, yes, they've given clip-ons to enjoy every track day event that you're going to attend with your mean machine. Another good thing is the aerodynamics. It is not as good as the first generation Gixxer SF because the windshield was slightly taller, and it was wherein you could really cuddle up and crouch behind the windscreen and literally blast through the straights. And the aerodynamics was really good on the first generation Gixxer SF. Here, yes, they made it much more compact, sharper, muscular, and yes, it's very compact, so direction changes happen in a flash. Turning in and out of corner is really comfortable, really easy on this. Flicking it around is really easy as well. Very nimble, very agile. Nice build quality. The fairing is, everything is bolted together in a very meticulous manner. There's now no rattling, or there's not even a inch or minute kind of uncertainty when you're doing speeds of over 150 kilometers per hour. So that talks about the engineering brilliance of Suzuki. They are very effortless. They don't boast a lot about their work. They let their products do the talking, and this one is really explosive little monster machine, I like to call it, and sweet little monster. Very sweet, refined engine. And yes, as I told you, the riding ergonomics is, if you want comfort, like if comfort is your top priority, then look at the Street Fighter, because it's very nimble, very lightweight. It feels much more lightweight than what the weight reads on the spec sheet. So, and it's absolutely effortless to ride. So that is one bike. If you want a fatigue free riding experience, if comfort is your top priority, then look at the Gixxer Street Fighter, the Gixxer 250 Street Fighter. This one is for those who love better road presence. This looks really amazing. Offers great, it has that muscular shoulders of a Predator when you park it, and it looks really muscular, and it looks like a compact, lightweight, sporty machine, and it delivers the right kind of performance that you come expecting going by the looks of the machine. But apart from that, yes, the seat is comfortable, but it is slightly angled downwards, so eventually you tend to slip down the seat. So that is one thing. I hope they introduce a textured pattern seat in the days to come. The windshield, yes, it's on the shorter side. I really wish they had offered a taller windscreen. The aerodynamics is well sorted. It does let the air pass over you once you crouch and tuck behind the windscreen, but still you're left wanting for more wind protection and a slightly more effective windscreen. Apart from that, the gear shifts are pretty smooth. Gear ratios are well matched. It's not on the shorter side, nor is it on the taller side. It's not meant to be on the taller side because this is a sports bike. And the clutch feel is really effortless. Clutch pull is not too far, so you can use the clutch without feeling fatigued, and the clutch pull is light. Apart from that, the suspension, you get 41mm front forks, offer a super front end feel, rock solid feel even at 150 kilometers per hour. The chassis and the swing arm and the rear monoshock support the bike really well while doing higher speeds, and that's something you look for in a sport bike. Can you tour on this machine? Yes, you can, because it's not too aggressive like the RCs, but at the same time it's not too upright either. So if you don't get the seating posture right, you might end up putting all the weight of your shoulders and your body on the palms, and that's when you start developing pain in your wrists and your palms, which is not good for you. So I would suggest you watch my how to avoid back pain while riding super sport motorcycles video. I'll leave a link in the description portion below, or I'll just give you a small tip in this video itself. Don't put your entire weight on the handlebar on your wrists or palms. Just let your palm and wrist just gently rest on the motorcycle. Use it to steer the bike, but don't put your entire body weight, don't push yourself onto the bike. That's one tip I'd like to give it to you. I just hope it helps. Apart from that, you can watch that detailed video where I talk about how you can position yourself in a way such that you don't develop that back pain or wrist pain. Talking about the brakes, let's just quickly do a braking test here. Take the bike up to 60 kilometers per hour and slam on the brakes. Oh, that was good. So yes, the brakes are good on all the bikes these days. You do have dual channel ABS as standard, and even if you grab a handful of front brake, you're rest assured that the wheel won't lock up, neither the front wheel nor the rear wheel. And yes, it's good to have dual channel ABS on board. It's a good proposition. The price has slightly increased of late, so that kind of slightly dismisses the value proposition or pushes back the value proposition to some extent. But apart from that, the machine is really capable, really enjoyable. It is a very versatile bike. It gives you great road presence, not too aggressive to ride, something that you can manage on day-to-day basis. You can have a blast on this bike on the track because shorter wheelbase, compact machine, and you can cut through corners like a hot knife through butter. And now let me just stop by and give you guys the exhaust note. Do we have the engine cutoff feature? Now this is really sad. We don't get the side stand engine cutoff feature, which is a must-have safety feature in my opinion, and it can kind of get you into trouble with these powerful machines. So that is one thing I just hope they improve it on. Now let's end this with the exhaust note. So nice sporty exhaust note over there. So that concludes my review of the Gixxer SF 250 BS6 model. I just hope you found this video useful. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, God bless, and ride safe.